Now, we've rolled out our pastry shell, and now I'm trying to get it in the bottom of the pie plate. So you just got to be a little bit gentle so that you don't break the crust at all. But you want to just fit it in as good as you can, and make sure that you get it in there and get in all the areas there. There we go. Okay. Now, takes just a little bit of thought to get that going on. All right, now we have our the bottom shell is in the plate, the pie plate. Now I'm going to go over here to my apples that Miss Lisa has so kindly prepared. She's peeled these and she's cut them and she's sliced them up. Today we're using Macintosh apples, and they're very delicious. And we've got quite a few in there, so I don't know. I think we're going to have a pretty good sized pie, Miss Lisa. Okay, now we're going to come right over here, and I'm going to grab a utensil, y'all, and we're going to put in 1 cup of sugar. Now, just a cup of white sugar, we're just going to pour that right in there, just like that. Okay, we're going to scrape this out. And so we've added our sugar. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to refer to our little recipe over here just as a guideline. We modify it a little bit from time to time. All right, now we need 1 1/2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now, what we're going to do, y'all, instead of putting 1 1/2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, is we're going to put 2 in there because we like it a little bit more cinnamon than it calls for. So we're going to put a little bit more. I don't tell Miss Lisa this. She worries when I deviate from the recipe. She does like it, though. She does. Okay, so let's just put 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon right in there. Yeah, and they're going to be good ones. Yeah, we're not particularly gonna flatten them out. They're hefty, good little teaspoons. Now, the next thing that we have that the recipe is suggesting, and I say suggesting because a lot of times I just modify all these recipes. So I only look at a recipe as a suggestion, y'all. Just a suggestion.
Just a suggestion.
Now, that's the next thing that they're telling us here is they want 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now, I'm probably going to go with about 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Just roughly estimating. I'm going to use the 1, and I'm going to probably go with about, I'm going to say, I'm going to go with about 3/4. Yeah, it's a little moist. It's got a little bit of humidity in it. Okay, so now we got that. We'll just put the cap right back on. We'll sprinkle a little bit more in there just for good measure. And then it's telling me now that it wants a little bit of salt. So I think sometimes that the salt just cuts a little bit of the bitterness of the apple. But I don't think these apples are going to be bitter at all, y'all. I think they're going to be very sweet. I do. All right, now, what else? Okay, I'm going to just toss these apples around with these ingredients in there. And, we need to turn on our oven. I'm sure we need to preheat. And it's telling us now that we need to bake in the preheated oven for 50 minutes and check the pie after the first 30. So it wants us to start out at 400 degrees. So we're just going to put 400 degrees right on there. There we go, 400. Very good. And we're just going to mix this up in here. And we got one more thing that we're going to need to add. And it's calling for flour, but I'm going to use flour, y'all. I'm going to use what's called minute tapioca. And the reason I'm going to use this is because it's an excellent thickener. It's probably a better thickener than flour. And I think it's a little on the sweeter side. So it's very good in fruit pies. cherry pie. Cherry pie especially is good with the minute tapioca. So we're going to go with this, y'all. Now, it's telling me it wants 2 tablespoons. But I think that with all the juice that's going to come out of these apples, if we want to go a little bit thicker, we're going to need a little bit more. So we're going to add a little more than 2 tablespoons. We're not going to be afraid to thicken our pie. Because if there's one thing I don't like, it's runny fruit. I don't like runny fruit in my pie. I don't think my girl likes runny fruit either.
No, I don't like runny fruit.
That's 2 now tablespoons, y'all, in there. Let's add 2 more. It's 1. I'm gonna put another one in. And then I'm gonna give it a little stir, and I'm gonna assess the situation. Because it could be that maybe I want to add more. I don't know. Sometimes it's just hard to explain how you just know, but you do. Liking the way that looks, I'm going to add a little bit more in there. Okay, that's good. All right.
Okay. It looks funny. It's got all those little white specks.
Oh, that's going to melt.
Oh,
That's going to melt, absolutely. You get away from me with the camera, Lisa, if you're going to criticize my pie. All right, now, we're going to put this into the pie shell, and then I'm going to roll out another crust, and I'll meet y'all back here once that's done.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
It's just so beautiful.